Roman Britain. Around 2,000 years ago, life in Britain was dramatically shaken up when a powerful force invaded from across the sea. The Romans came, saw, and eventually conquered. From their magnificent city of Rome, the Romans had built up a mighty army and conquered more and more land until they ruled over the biggest empire of ancient times. For 400 years, most of Britain was part of the empire. Daily life, culture, language, and even the British landscape would never be the same again. Romans invade. By 58 BC, the Romans dominated the Mediterranean region from the deserts of North Africa and Syria to the Pyrenees in the lands beyond Italy, which they called the Province. The Romans imposed not only their laws and their hefty taxes, but also their way of life and their language, Latin. The great Roman army, General Julius Caesar, and his troops were fighting to secure the Roman province of Gaul, that's France. Britain, which the Romans called Britannia, lay tantalizingly close on what many Romans believed to be the edge of the world. To capture these lands would surely be to conquer the world, but Caesar had practical motives too. Britain was reported to be rich in gold and silver, and its tribesmen disorganized and quarrelsome. Added to this, some southern Britons were supporting rebels in Gaul who were resisting Roman rule. Caesar calculated that conquering both Britain and Gaul would be a tremendous boost to his career at a minimal risk. When Caesar first invaded Britain in 15 BC, storms drove parts of his army back to Gaul. He won some battles in the southeast of the country, but he was surprised by the Britons' skilled use of chariots in combat. It was not the easiest fight he had expected. Gales wrecked many of his ships on the beaches where they had landed, and he was forced to retreat. Caesar returned the next year in 54 BC, but he soon had to go back to Gaul to deal with a revolt. This wasn't the last the Britons would hear of the Romans, though. Nearly 100 years later, Romans forces invaded again and eventually conquered all but the Highlands of Scotland.